I thought that today we would react to that video that I was talking about yesterday. The video about Dissociated YouTuber and what happened to their YouTube channel. Because I finally figured out how to get the audio to come through the stream. So, hell yeah. Fringe still annoying me, as you can see. Welcome everyone in the chat. Basically, this YouTuber made YouTube videos about having dissociative identity disorder. I think I pronounced that right. And I discovered them shortly before they had their scandals. And I was really fascinated by their videos. So she was doing switches caught on camera, meet the alters, meet the girls of our system, meet the guys of our system. Hello, Nags Pie, welcome. And first time chat. And yeah, so I was really interested in her videos at the time. And then she had a couple of scandals. So she was in Anthony Padilla's video where it was called I Spent the Day with Dissociative Identity Disorder. People with dissociative identity disorder. I'm sorry if I feel like I'm pronouncing that wrong, but I'm trying my best. And so she's in Anthony Padilla's video. And then after she was in Anthony Padilla's video was around the time that YouTuber Trisha Paytas started to put up videos about how she had dissociative identity disorder, DID. I'm just going to say DID from now on. And this YouTuber reacted to Trisha's videos, and then Trisha reacted to this YouTuber's videos, and it just became a back and forth, and they were both calling each other crazy and both saying the other was faking it. And then that got really messy. And around the same time, now the other thing I'm not really across because I didn't follow her closely enough to know about this end of it, but I read it somewhere, I think on Reddit or somewhere a while back. But around the same time then that she was attracting all this attention, her channel was kind of blowing up, and her fiance at the time got called out on the internet, and again, not 100% sure what the reason was, but I think it had something to do with their art. I think they were drawing underage characters. I'm just going to leave it at that actually, because I'm not sure, so I can't really speak to it. But it was something to do with their art, and yeah. But also I don't know where they were publishing their art, whether it was YouTube or what was it. So I don't really know enough to speak on that. But anyway, they broke up with their fiance, and then disappeared from the internet for ages. And I remember the last thing I saw from them was a message on their Instagram account, or a post saying that they were leaving the internet because of people harassing them. And at the time, I actually assumed that was Trisha fans, because they'd been in this back and forth with Trisha. And what else? Oh yeah, and they also mentioned in that post that they had tried to unalive themselves. So that's sort of a quick summary of all that I know about it. And then they hadn't uploaded for must be 6-8 months, maybe longer, a year. I'm not sure, it's been a long time. And yeah, and then uploaded this the other day, and I tried to watch it on stream the other day, but I couldn't get the sound to work. So now I've got sound to work, so I think we should watch it. I'm just going to catch up with chat. DID, thank you, Nags. Yes, the psych shorthand DID. I'm just going to say DID, it's easier. So are we all on the same page, sort of? Are we all good to start watching? I have the Discord open for the patrons. I have the Discord open and text chats, all tiers, and then I obviously have the Twitch chat open as well. I'm going to be watching this, but I'll keep checking chat. But yeah, I think that's kind of all you need to know. I wanted to address the scandal portion of the piece. It's not technically relevant. I gave this a quick look last night, and this is explaining why they've been off the internet for such a long time, why all their YouTube videos also disappeared. So not only did they stop uploading, but all the YouTube videos went away. Not all of them, but most of them. And lots of ones that had millions of views and stuff. So I believe also because I posted this on Reddit when I found out she uploaded it, and somebody commented and said, like the other day, and said that they thought that someone had like debunked Disassociated's DID, and they're like said that this YouTuber was making up the altars and that they'd taken them from a book or something. Now, I know nothing about that. That's all I know. I'm giving that context just because I don't want to not give you relevant or even irrelevant context, like, but that's all that I know on all those aspects of it. I can't speak to whether or not like her DID is real, but she was a YouTuber that I watched. I enjoyed her videos, and then she disappeared off the internet because of people harassing her, she said, and that now she's back and with a detailed explanation of exactly what she meant by that. So I just wanted to watch it, and I especially wanted to talk about it because what transpires is the reason is super interesting to me for a very specific reason that I will explain when we get there.
This is an extremely simple and clear-cut case. Somebody said that their copyright was infringed by some text. That text was removed. The video should be restored.
Okay, so here's why I wanted to talk about this, right? So the long and short of her story is that somebody said their copyright was infringed by text. So like that actually has blown my mind. The fact that I did not know that you could claim somebody's videos. I actually think this like it's probably something that shouldn't be like publicly shared, but it's out there now. But like I didn't know that you could claim somebody's video for copyright by claiming the text in the description. To me, that's insane. And as we go through the story here, like she disputes whether or not he even wrote it. But like, how do you prove? My question is, how did he prove in the copyright system? How did he prove that he wrote the text? And also, we'll get into this, but the way that he claimed some of the videos is something that you shouldn't be able to do if you're like a regular creator. We'll get into that.
Hello everybody, my name's Kaya.
Okay, so her pronouns are she, he, they, so I got it right, she, they, he. So Kaya is the host, which means, and this by the way is just my understanding from watching this person's videos previously. Okay, so the way that she explained it at the time was that the host is the main personality or alter, and then sometimes she switches into other alters, but as far as I remember, Kaya is a new name. So I think when this person left YouTube, the host's name was Nin, because the previous host, Chloe, merged with another alter called Nina, I think it was called Nina, and then their name was then Nin. So Kaya is a new name since all of this happened. And also at the time, now that I'm now remembering that there was some sort of post about how the stress of like the whole, I guess, cancellation thing, or like not even cancellation, but the sort of online back and forth with all their fans involved. And this, or actually maybe she was referring to this when she was saying the stress of this situation. She might have been referring to this actually. But she was saying that brought out a new alter. So, yeah. Greg, yes, the text in the description box, which is crazy. It's crazy that you can claim a video for that. Actually ludicrous. My mother would laugh at this. Alters are so uncommon in terms of schizophrenia and DID. You aren't doing vids like this. Yeah. I know I know nothing about DID really. I'm just sort of telling you what I understand from watching this particular creator's videos previously. So yeah, good call out. I'm not saying that this is like right or how it works or anything. I'm just Yeah, just reiterating. I'm also checking the Discord. Greg and Carbon Forms are also in the Discord. Solicitor is the same as a lawyer in the US. Yes. Yes. We have solicitors and barristers, but I'm honestly not 100% sure of the difference. But anyway, okay, so we'll keep going.
Familiar with the channel, then you'll probably have known Nin and Kyle. Over a number of months, they integrated to create me.
Okay. So Nin was the host at the time and Kyle was the protector alter at the time. And I specifically remember Kyle had like an accent. Like I can't do it, trying to do the accent. But it was like a different, it was like a Liverpool, was it a Liverpool accent? It wasn't like it wasn't her British accent. It was a different part of the UK. I can't remember where. Essex accent, Greg says. So you must have been watching at the time as well, Gregory, or is that just a guess? Tawanka, I have enough trouble keeping me in check without alters. Oh God. Okay, we'll keep going.
Kaya, it's good to finally meet you as I am now. For those of you who don't know us, we are a system who were professionally diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder. You might know it as multiple personality disorder if you haven't heard of it before. We took a break early this year because unfortunately people were threatening us, which is a completely different situation to what we're going to talk about now. And we had to take that into consideration when we were thinking about making this video. But ultimately, we decided that we're not going to be silenced anymore. We started Dissociated in March 2018 at 21 years old to try and raise awareness about and validate other systems with dissociative identity disorder. The channel eventually became full-time for us. We dropped everything and
I'm going to pause it here for a second. Just to let you know, I'm drinking strawberry and lime cider, but it's non-alcoholic cider because I'm not doing dry January, but it is a Sunday night. I'm trying to do like drier January where I don't drink quite as much, but I'm not doing fully dry shite January because I just, no thanks, January is miserable enough. But the reason I just want to stop it is because my only thing, and I know lots of people are saying, oh, like it's fake, and maybe it is fake, I don't know, but the only reason that would make me think that it's real is like, I genuinely would be like, how could somebody make this up? You know, it just seems so... Yeah, that's true. Sorry, Cormac, you're right. The DID is irrelevant to the copyright saga, so I shouldn't really focus on it. I just got distracted by the chat talking about whether it's nags. The whole point of DID is that you don't understand when you switch, so referring yourself to as a system is so laughable. Oh, okay, so that's really interesting because her partner also did it, and a couple of the other DID YouTubers refer to themselves like that I'm aware of. Anyway, Cormac's right. DID is actually kind of irrelevant, so we can sort of skip past that, I guess.
Dedicated our whole life
and just focus on the
videos
actual
to try and help
issue at
people.
hand.
We made weekly videos about trauma, about DID, about therapy, about where to find help, about the healthcare system, self-care, you name it. If we thought that it could help people, we made a video about it and put it up on the channel. Everything we made had our best intentions and a whole lot of love behind it. When we left YouTube on our hiatus, we said that we'd be leaving our videos up for people who might find them helpful. So you might be wondering where all our videos have gone. We first spoke to
Sorry, I need to listen to that again.
our best intentions and a whole lot of love behind it. When we left YouTube on our hiatus, we said that we'd be leaving.
Okay, it's not relevant that she mispronounced hiatus. Okay, so the hiatus came before the deletion of the videos. I just want to remember that in case that is relevant. She still could have left YouTube because of this issue, but I just want to make sure I'm kind
our
of
videos up
getting the
for
timeline
people
right.
who might find them helpful. So you might be wondering where all our videos have gone. We first spoke to the man who is responsible
This is
for the
very well
removal of our
edited, by the way.
videos on the 28th of March 2020. His name is Sergio Costa, and he emailed us asking for
28th of March 2020. I don't know what time they went on their hiatus. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
for answers to questions that he'd seen on various websites during his research.
Okay, so let me know. Will I stop and pause and read these things, because she does cycle through them pretty fast. Like, this is actually quite a short, relatively short summary of her issues. And like, it's very hard to see there. So I'm gonna do it. And if you say it's boring, let me know and I'll stop. Sorry, just driving me nuts. It's whatever. Okay. Dear Dissociated, I really hope this email finds everyone in the system safe and in good health. My name is Sergio Costa and I'm currently one of your tier 2 patrons. I discovered you through Anthony's interview. Oh my god, he's going to copyright claim me for its text. For reading his text. I discovered you through Anthony's interview. That's Anthony Padilla. Binge watched all your videos and decided to become a patron to support what I believed was an amazing project with a healthy combo of educational and entertaining content. Since then, and after doing extensive research of my own, I've been trying to do my part in fighting the stigmas surrounding dissociative, why can't I say that word, disorders, and will continue to do so as long as I can. I've also been thinking of how I could help your project grow. I've shared some of these ideas via a Patreon message and I have several more, but that is not what prompted me to send you this email.
About us. On the 20th of April 2020, Mr. Costa reached out to us to offer his help and advice, which we declined.
Hey guys, I hope you're doing a bit better and getting all the support you need. I also hope you've been seeing the overwhelmingly positive messages and all the love people have been sending your way. So this must have been during the back and forth. Welcome, Sherab39. Thank you for well, hang on. That's on YouTube. I don't know why I have an alert set up for subscribe. I was like, did someone just subscribe? I was like, did I just become an affiliate? No, that was a YouTube subscription. Why do I have alerts on for that? Anyway, so about my proposal, I know you have a ton of things to think about right now, and I'd hate to add to that. Please don't feel pressured to reply to this email anytime soon, although I kindly ask you to reply to it regardless of your decision. This is something for you to think about when and if you're ready to come back. So she's already on her hiatus here, so the hiatus is not to do with this dude. Okay, so the hiatus then presumably was because of the whole back and forth issues going on with her and Trisha, and then also with her fiance being called out, etc. So I'm presuming that whole thing is the reason she's taking hiatus. I'm offering you my help to work behind the scenes. I could also be wrong, by the way, on that, because maybe she's taking more than one. I'm offering you my help to work behind the scenes and boom your content and communication so you can feel safer and focus on what you do best, creating content. You don't have to pay or credit me. That's fucking key. I'm doing this for the sole reason that I believe in your project and would like to help. Here's some additional info about me and how I can help. I worked as a researcher and I have some published papers of my own, blah, blah, blah. I now work in quality control, specifically quality control of communication efforts. Blah, blah. I don't care about the rest of that.
If we were to accept his offer, it would be for free and that we didn't need to credit him in any way. But we did turn him down. And this is a screenshot. He says, I'm offering you my help to work behind the scenes, improving your content and communication so you can feel safer and focused on what you do best, creating content. You don't have to pay me or credit me. I'm doing this for the sole reason that I believe in your project and would like to help. He continued to email us offering assistance until we eventually agreed. He always stressed that it would be for free and that his intention was just to help us, and that was the only reason he was doing this. That didn't change every time he presented this offer to us. Even months later, he reassured Nin again that he was doing this.
Okay. Right, so she's saying that months later, he reassured her that he was doing it out of the goodness of his heart. This is kind of skipped ahead. I don't really understand why you would give him your phone number. Okay, so in August 2020, she's already feeling uncomfortable. She says things like, I was a bit uncomfortable and I wasn't sure. I told my friends about how you talk and they said it was a red flag. And he said it probably suits the fact you're younger. And she's like, I'm confused why you want to help us. I wanted boundaries and to prevent miscommunications. And look, when I mentioned being closer, I was referring to helping each other go through this rough time in our lives. And she says one of them was concerned it was grooming. Okay, I feel like that's a little bit out of context. So I'm not going to say anything about that
goodness of his own heart, and that he didn't want anything in return. Basically, what he helped us with was research and advice. He looked over a couple of scripts and added to them a little bit, and
I think I personally wouldn't tell the person. Then again, I've never been in that situation. But I don't know if I'd be like, hey, are you a groomer? Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. But like, okay, so pre-written comments. He also assisted and advised us on pre-written responses that we pasted in if people asked about triggering or difficult subjects that we had already addressed, so that we could direct them to where we had already talked about it before.
Just generally was there as an advisor and somebody who had a second opinion about what we were doing while we were struggling to cope on our own. His advances became distressing when he continually asked for more affection from Nin. He continued to do this even after she'd explained to him in great detail why she was uncomfortable with that.
Okay, so it goes on to about November. And these are ones I was looking at where she's like being quite strict is not the word, but she's setting down her boundaries pretty clearly in these text messages. Like some of them are things like, so I mean, it's kind of, we don't have the full context, so we don't have, like, some of the messages are cut off, but for example, halfway through there in the first screenshot, it says like, I'm just not comfortable being more affectionate than general friendship, which is the level we already are. It's not a reflection on you. And he says, so I'm a general friend, and they say it's nothing to do with you, who you are, how you see you. This is a relatively high level of affection for us. You're a good friend and a work colleague. And he says, but if I were a woman, it would be different. And then they're like, oh no, oh Nin, why don't you feel more comfortable being more affectionate? And she says, I already told you this is a high level of affection for us. You're a man considerably older than us who we also work with. It would be inappropriate. And he says, I'm your friend and person who cares a lot about you. I'd like you to see me as a person, not as an older man who works with you. Ooh, yeah, okay. And then, so she says, I do see you as a person, but that doesn't mean I'm comfortable being more affectionate with you than I am with other people my own age. I don't even talk to my best friend every day. The only people I treat with more affection are my childhood best friends and family. And then he says, and gay friends, lol. What? And she says, is this really because of a kissy face emoji on an Instagram comment to an old friend? And he says, of course not. This is about the other day. But like that kissy face on the kissy face emoji on the Instagram comes back up in later text. So it obviously was partly about that. And honest to God, if someone like in your life, whether you've met them, whether you work with them, or whether you met them on the internet, is like getting mad because you leave a kissy face emoji on one of your mates' Instagram pictures, like red flag, the reddest of flags. Yeah, so Bear, I kind of agree with you. I think she probably should have blocked him after. Not even blocked him, just ignored it. Definitely shouldn't have taken his
and firmly told him no.
Taken his help and given him his phone number
a number of times. He became aggressive in our.
Oof. Okay. So the reason I'm upset has nothing to do with you not being comfortable being more affectionate. I didn't even ask you to explain why you aren't more affectionate. You insisted on doing so. I continuously push out your boundaries, ? That's just BS, and honestly, I'm done. You're not the person I thought you were. As of tomorrow, I'll no longer be helping with anything you got what I said all wrong. Okay, so that totally sounds like gaslighting to me, to be honest. Even though look, I'm not gonna, I don't know, I wasn't there, but it does sort of seem like that. Like, her message was, I can't keep having the same conversation with you because you continually push at our boundaries, and it's starting to get quite distressing. So then after all these text messages she sends one that just says, I'm upset right now, please give me some time. And he sends a 1, 2, 3 screen long thing of messages. Oh my god. So, like, I shouldn't have said that about you. I'm just going to try and skip through it. I'm not constantly pushing out your boundaries. The only thing I said was that I wish you were a bit more affectionate. I didn't even ask you to do anything or explain, but you wanted to explain. So I was very surprised when you framed it as an appropriateness issue. This is something you do quite often with dissociative related stuff, and it never works, as I've told you many times already. Saying the word appropriate invalidates his feelings. Okay, so yeah, when you claim something is inappropriate, you're implying that there are some sort of rules in place that the other person's going against, but that is rarely the case when you use this argument. What you're really saying is that you don't feel comfortable, but the use of the word appropriate places the blame on the other person for wanting to do something inappropriate. It also invalidates their feelings. And although the person will feel confused and ashamed at first, they'll quickly realise that they didn't do anything inappropriate and feel upset with you. That is the sole reason I'm upset with you. Reddest of flags. Red flag. Red. All I can see is red. Blah, 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 blah. Please stop worrying that I want to be in a romantic relationship with you. I don't want to be in a relationship with anyone. Yes, I find you attractive. So what? Can't you find a friend beautiful and attractive without wanting to get into their pants? Not everyone is that basic. Block. Immediate block. Immediate block.
Our opinion, when Nin continued to refuse him, and we tried to part ways with him on the 5th of November.
Okay. It's obvious we want conflicting things from the relationships. Both you and our system feel hurt and unheard, and though we've tried to address it, it doesn't seem that there's a solution. Blah, 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 blah. We've realised there are differences of opinion and pushing us different directions. Thanks for offering your help. We're grateful. Hope you've gained some of the experience and exposure you were looking for. We genuinely wish you the best going forward and hope we can part on good terms. So she's done with him. Voice message, please. I'll do whatever you want to make this right. For everything I've done to help you. You told me I saved dissociated. Please. 4 missed voice calls. And then she said, we are uncomfortable with the way you talk to us and repeatedly revisited it. We've decided it's best to go our separate ways. We appreciate they reached out to us with an offer to help. We remain grateful for everything you've done and wish you all the best. He sends a lot of messages again. One of them, I'm not going to go over them. One of them is, oh look, it's almost as if you were waiting for an excuse to drop me. Never in my entire life has anyone felt the need to discuss boundaries with me, let alone told me I'd crossed any. I'm not that person. I've removed your access to the scripts and most other files in Drive. Oof. You're being extremely unfair with me. I can't let this go until you're honest. Well, I will discuss this with my therapist starting tomorrow. We can keep things strictly professional from now on. Don't take dissociated away from me. Okay.
2020. Instead of simply
this
walking away, he threatened us and then brought copyright claims against us.
Here is where
take no for an answer.
Oh, hang on. Here's where it gets out of hand.
He threatened us.
Like, okay, it's already pretty out of hand. But look at this. I need you to change the dissociated mods. Don't really know what that means. Whether it's Discord or I don't know what it is. But verification from your phone to mine and log out, please. I can't change the verification, unfortunately. Thank you. And he goes, no. Why did she allow him to have any verification on his phone instead of hers? Like, this is a man you met on the internet. So yeah, sorry, I'm just going to check chat now. He's constantly using key gaslighting words and phrases. Absolutely. I block just based on the length of text. Agreed. Block. Yup. 5th of November means this has gone on for 8 months. Yeah, so they were, yeah. Well, August was when the last screenshots were when she was saying, you're making us uncomfortable. So August August, we'll count the two, August, September, October. So definitely 3 months anyway. But yeah, they were working together for 4 or 5 months before that. Got a block, no way to win except not to play. Yeah, I agree. She was what, 23 or so? I don't actually know what age she was. She's young enough actually, yeah. Yeah, just too trusting. And sure, we've all made these mistakes. But anyway, so he won't give her back whatever this dissociated mods. I don't know whether these are Discord mods or YouTube mods. I don't know what it is. But Jesus definitely shouldn't have given him any sort of like login power. And she says, why not? The account is used for my business. It's under my business name. Maybe he was a mod or something. Anyway, whatever. And he says, I can't accept this. And she says, that's something you'll need to work through your therapist. I need full account access to the account that's under my business name. Please change or remove your phone numbers, 2-step verification. Sorry, I was just laughing there when I read therapist because I know what's coming up soon. So he says, reach out to Google then. In other words, like, reach out to Google then. You know. On the Monday, I'll contact lawyers specialised in copyright to protect my rights over the content I helped create. If that's how you want to do things. This is why I think it's funny. And since you've told me so many times to discuss what happened with my therapist, I just did that today. I showed every message. I even mentioned the kissy emoji thing. So he was mad about it. But you don't want to hear that you're overreacting or worse, right? Like as if the therapist read these messages. As if the therapist read the messages. As if the therapist sided with him. As if he told his therapist. Like, it's so unbelievable. So, yeah.
And then brought copyright claims against us. He wouldn't take no for an answer. He refused to let us have full control over the emails that were in Dissociative's name into the accounts. He contacted our friends. He sent voice messages that we found extremely frightening.
Yeah, therapists are usually impartial. And even if they're not impartial, they don't go, yeah, you're right, and she's a bitch. Like, they definitely don't do that.
Aggressive emails that we believe to be from him. We got an injunction against him from the court to keep us safe. And he responded to that by posting where we live, our town, on Twitter, and a whole host of other things, alongside the removal of our videos and everything that I'm about to explain to you. We've been seeing questions about where our videos have gone for about 10 months now, and we feel like you deserve to know and deserve a genuine
so the videos disappeared about a year ago.
Explanation as to why our content and our mental health advice and everything we made is no longer accessible to you and people who might find them helpful. We understand that YouTube is doing its best, but we do hope that our videos will be rightfully restored one day and that YouTube will do better to support vulnerable creators on its platform in the future. We have re-uploaded most of our old videos without the allegedly infringing copyright, which is the disclaimers that were copied into the description of the videos. That's because we own the copyright as the sole creators of those videos, and that is a fact that is not disputed. However, 3 of our videos have not been re-uploaded by us, and we decided to do that because those 3 videos were made while we were taking suggestions from and working alongside Sergio Costa. We maintain that he was not the sole creator of any of our videos. He wasn't the only one to work on a script. It was a joint work at most, and I still do.
I don't really get how you can be like, you don't have to credit me, but then you would succeed in a copyright thing. That's weird. And also, like, if you are a scriptwriter for a TV show and the TV show fires you, you don't get to like copyright claim the TV show from appearing anywhere. I don't understand how this has been allowed. Hello, Jimmy. Yes, I'm live.
I do believe that 1, perhaps 2 of the videos he has absolutely no claim over whatsoever, but that's a matter for the court to decide, Because those 3 videos are still part of the intellectual property case in the court, we will keep them down until the court reaches a decision. This next part is going to be the basics. It's
having to re-upload the rest of the videos. Like, some of those videos had millions of views. Like, if this is an abuse of the YouTube's copyright system, I think he should be absolutely taken to the cleaners, because you're hurting someone's income, current and future income, because taking those videos down has forever hurt the growth of that channel. It's forever impacted it. Like, arguably, you might be able to turn it around, but you'll never know. Like, we'll never know if that, you know, whether or not she would have been bigger or would have earned more money or whatever, you know what I mean, if they'd all stayed up. But the whole channel nearly actually came down, which obviously would have been like forever a stop to her income.
going to be like a shorter version of everything. If you want all the screenshots and the details and the dates and stuff like that, keep listening, because after we go on the basics, then we get into the deeper stuff. Firstly, I'm going to give you a brief overview.
Okay, so that's like the basics. Man makes copyright claim about description text, and all the videos disappear and they're fighting each other in court. That's like the overview. So now we're going to get into a little bit deeper
overview of how I understand YouTube's copyright policy to work. Anyone can put in a...
Okay, I'll let her explain, then I'll explain.
...a copyright claim to YouTube. Then what happens is, once they get this copyright claim, YouTube sends that to the creator who's posted the content. The content creator then has the option to either create a counterclaim through YouTube, which is a legal process once you do that. They also have the option to contact the claimant if they want to.
Okay, so I'm just going to go back here. So, because I want to explain from my understanding what this is. And so this is so interesting to me. And I've never actually talked about this online before, but a previous job that I had required me to be YouTube certified in Content ID, which is like the YouTube copyright system. And I always thought the YouTube copyright system was one of the most interesting things in the whole world. I just thought it was so... What it actually is like amazing. Like, I feel like, you know, it kind of gets a lot of bad press, but it won an engineering Emmy. Like, it basically allows, in a simple version, like if you're taking my videos, for example, like I upload my video and then it scans YouTube constantly. It creates a source file or a reference file from my video, and then it scans YouTube constantly from the date of upload to find matching videos and then take them down or whatever, or tell me that they're there. Not only does it scan it from the time of upload, it also scans all of the back catalogue of YouTube for infringing content as well. Like, it's crazy. And so, like, an example of that would be, say, if you had I don't know, you had a TV show and you want to put your TV show, you are the studio and you want to put the TV show on YouTube, and you upload the TV show and you own the TV show, and then it will search the whole of YouTube to find places where other people have, you know, uploaded bootlegs so you can take them down. Like, it's, the system is just, the scale of it is I just, like, I can get my head around it, but you know what I mean? It's just like, I think it's actually mind-blowing. It won an engineering Emmy, and I hate, this is why I wanted to talk about this, it really upsets me to see it abused like this, because it actually is, or at least when it was created, it was like groundbreaking. Unfortunately, maybe it hasn't been, you know, tweaked or kind of improved, and people have found loopholes in it or found ways to abuse it, and I hate that so much, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. And the candle of Orman, I fear technology. So Kirk's, yeah. So okay, if I rip a bootleg, what stops me from issuing takedowns against other bootleggers? Okay, so there's, how do I explain this? And I'm pretty sure that everything I learned in my content ID, my YouTube certification course, I'm pretty sure is public knowledge. I'm pretty sure like you can research this on the Google Help forums. But basically, everyday YouTubers don't really get access to content ID in its truest form. As a YouTuber on the front end of YouTube, I upload a video and I get access to this content ID thing where it like streams, or like, sorry, it searches YouTube and it finds places where people have re-uploaded my video. But it's a very base version of the proper tool, and the proper tool is available in the back end, and you only get access to the back end if you are a partner of a certain level. Yeah, pretty much. That's the simplest way to put it. And then you know, that's where if you were a studio, you would upload all of your TV shows and all of your movies and whatever, and then they would be just there in the back end constantly scanning YouTube for matches. So it's a much more complicated and robust system, and this is why it's so confusing to me that he could do this, because the content ID system is for the most part automatic. So as I said, you have a reference file and it like scans YouTube to match it, right? There's also a thing called a manual claiming tool, which a manual claiming tool in the back end is like not super rare, but it's rarer than the automatic. Like, not even if you're at the level to have the back end access, you don't always have the manual claiming tool. And I remember one of the things that they stressed in the verification was that, you know, abuse of the manual claiming tool was considered super serious. And what it is you can just put a URL into the manual claiming tool and say, I own this. And it has to be a video that hasn't already been caught by the content ID system. And yeah, you include timestamps. And now multi-channel networks have access to this back end. Trisha Paytas, for example, her videos have been claimed by a company. God, I cannot remember the name of the company. But people were complaining that all her videos were getting copyright people using her footage were all getting copyright strikes from this one company. That kind of company that manages copyright for a number of creators would normally have access to this tool. I genuinely don't understand how one singular man could have access to this tool, unless there's another way to do it on the front end that I'm not aware of. Like maybe where you flag a video on the front end, maybe you can like submit a claim that way. But from the verification course thingy that I took, as far as I remember, the manual claiming tool was a back end thing. So that's what I wanted to talk about, because I just think it's nuts that he had access to that. Greg, so basically the more scope for DMCA, the more access you get to YT's scanning tool, I guess. I know that they created the content ID system because they were sued by Omni something. Is it OmniVision? They're sued by somebody for like $1 billion, because people were because back in the day YouTube was all bootlegs of TV shows. Like I used to just watch the OC on YouTube, and so they created that to kind of try and stop that. But yeah, it's come to a point where now it's being used to punish just everyday creators. Viacom, thank you Kirks, it was Viacom. Okay, so anyway, if you get 3 copyright strikes, your account along with any associated channels is subject to termination. If you get a live stream removed for copyright. Your access to live streaming is restricted for 7 days. Even before 3 copyright strikes, you might lose your ability to monetize your channel, which is that's huge in my opinion. Even if the channel's not deleted, if they've lost the ability to monetize it, I would absolutely throw the kitchen sink at the guy. All the videos uploaded to your account will be removed on 3 copyright strikes, and you can't create any new channels. And I don't really know how they police this, but apparently they're pretty good at it. Maybe it's ISP. Karma Creates. I was lurking around and came across your stream and think I can help you out with your Twitch custom graphics like logo, emotes, alerts, screens, animations, and more. Thank you very much. Little bit offended. And my feelings. But thanks for the offer. Greg, yeah, that answers my question. The ordinary Joe YouTuber shouldn't have access to this or whatever. Yeah, as a YouTuber, I don't have access to it. You know what I mean? And I would have access to a much, what's the word? A shallower tool, like a real base version of the tool. I don't, on the front end, a front end version. Basically, Joe Soap YouTubers don't get access to the back end. And I don't, as far as I know, you can't do a manual claim in the front end version. If I'm wrong, then fuck me. But I don't think I am. Okay.
To YouTube. Then what happens is once they get this copyright claim, YouTube sends...
Okay, so this is another thing that I thought was kind of stupid. So, sorry, I've dropped something. So while you can use the YouTube editor, there's a YouTube editor and you can edit out parts of the music, or if it's music, or you can edit out parts of the video, or trim just the claim segment from your video. I don't know if you can remove the claimed content after you get 50,000 views, because I know that you can't use the YouTube editor to trim or cut out bits of a video once you've hit 50,000 views normally. But maybe they make an exception if it's like a copyright claim, I don't know. So that's if you feel it's valid, you can either let them claim it for monetization or block or whatever they choose, or you can remove the claimed content, or you can decide to share revenue in some cases if it's like a cover of a song.
The creator who's posted the content creator,
which
then
I've
has
also,
the option to...
by the way, never understood. I've never understood the music side of it, and I've never understood how YouTubers who make covers ever made money before they allowed the share revenue option. But
either
I
create
digress.
account claim through YouTube, which is illegal.
So this is the thing that I thought was a little bit short-sighted. So if somebody submits a claim, we'll say Viacom, or we'll say Clare Corp. Clare Corp has access to this back-end tool, right? 'Cause it's a big evil corporation, and it claims somebody's video for copyright. And if that person thinks that they haven't breached copyright, they can submit, they call it a counter notification, but it's kind of like, it's basically you click a button that says this is not copyright, and then you explain why. Now, I've been on this side of it and I've been on the other side of it in the training course. But so I've actually done this for my YouTube channel. So my wedding video is up on my channel, and there's a song in the background for like 20 seconds. And the wedding video is about 15, no, it's not that long. I think it might be only 10 minutes long. But there's about a 30 seconds worth of a song. And there's a couple of other songs used in it, and all of the people that own the songs claimed it, which is fine, because I told my video editor, my wedding video editor, that I was happy for her to use copyrighted music in this one instance, because she was like, that's my style, and I was like, okay, that's fine. But this one song, the people who owned it blocked the video, like worldwide. I had to cut out the audio. So there's like a section of the speeches, because the song is under the speeches, that you can't hear on my wedding video on YouTube anymore. I still have the raw file, it's fine. Because whoever owned the video or the song decided, instead of just splitting all the monetization with all these other companies, they were just going to block the fucking whole video, the whole 12-minute, 10-minute video worldwide. And so when I was submitting my counter notification, it basically said, this video is like 10 minutes long and this song is in the background for 30 seconds. Like, I don't think like that is fair use, because it's not, it's a, or like in my opinion that was fair use, because not only it's a small portion of the video, it's less than 10% or whatever, it's a small portion of the song, and it's background, it's like not part of the video. It's, and anyway, long story short, didn't work, had to cut it out. But basically that counterclaim goes straight back to the people who've submitted the original claim, and in the back end it's like they often just, like, if they've 1,000 responses, it's like, you know, bang it through them, like they can just reconfirm or release. Those are the only options. And yeah, it's like, also actually another good example is there's a new website that I've been using called Licked, and it's where you can license popular music, some popular music, for your YouTube channels. So you pay for like a license, and then you upload your video and it immediately gets claimed on YouTube, and then you submit a counterclaim, but you attach the number of your license, and then they release it because they have that agreement with Licked, because, you know, they've given them permission to sell the licenses. But yeah, so basically whatever happens, your counter notification goes straight back to the person who filed the original like thing. So why would they, like, it's very unlikely that they're going to go, oh yeah, no, that's fair enough, release. Very unlikely. Like, no? It's incredibly unlikely, in my opinion. They're always going to be like, yeah, whatever, reconfirm. It's definitely, so it should, in my opinion, the counter notification and the original notification should go to like an arbitrator or a third party or something. But obviously YouTube probably don't have the resources to be, you know, getting involved in every single copyright dispute on YouTube, and obviously then, you know, legally they're probably not allowed to. But basically they either claim, they can just reclaim it, and then if you want to fight it further, you will have to, they'll need to respond with evidence that they've taken legal action to keep the content being restored to YouTube. If the counter notification is forwarded, it will include the full text, including any personal info you've entered. Oh, that's an important thing, is that if you claim anyone else on YouTube, if you try to claim any like video, or sorry, if you submit your counter notification, then you have to put in your like name and your like contact details, which I hate, because you have to give your email, and then they'll see it, which is not great. But yeah, so it's worded slightly differently to my understanding. Like, I know that you, so I think that first it's a claim, then you dispute the claim, then they reconfirm, and then if you submit a counter notification, yeah, I don't know, it's worded differently to the way I thought it was, but anyway, they can just reclaim it, or they can then prove that they've taken legal action to keep the content being restored to YouTube. But if Ali Sherlock and she sings copyrighted songs, how does she do this? She probably just doesn't monetize it. Clizzer Corpse, usually in brand rivalry with Alex Inc. Quiva Unique, surely covers are fair use. Yeah, they should be, but Kirks, I would have just monetized your wedding. Cormac Raven, not sure he had back-end access. My understanding from the video is that he made front-end claims on each video. Okay, so that's an important distinction. So maybe that's why I'm getting confused here, because I know that in the back-end, they would put a claim on a video, you would dispute the claim, and then they would just like reinstate it every time. And then that'd be the end of that. If either of you wanted to go any further, you'd have to, if you wanted to go any further, because why would they? They would already reconfirmed it. If you wanted to go any further and dispute it again, you would have to submit evidence that you had started to fight it in court. So this must be in relation to the front end version, which is slightly different. So notification, then a counter notification that goes straight to the claimant again. And then they will need to respond with evidence that they've taken legal action to keep the content from being restored to YouTube. Right. So I think that the counter notification in this instant in the front end is where it's like, it makes you like, when you're filling it out, I think it makes you go like, everything I'm saying here is true and my channel will be deleted if I'm lying. So it's like a scary process. So yeah, you're right, Cormac, that once it goes to court, then YouTube just goes.
Once you do that, they also have the
business.
option to contact the claimant if they want to. If the creator...
So sorry, I gave you a detailed description of the back end for no reason, because it was a front end claim. Fuck. Okay. Blah blah. Thank you for your counter notification. You've initiated a formal legal dispute process. Right, so he needs to come back with evidence they've taken court action to prevent the reinstatement of the videos.
To counterclaim, YouTube will put the videos back up. That's what usually happens, unless the claimant, who's saying their copyright has been infringed upon, submits proof that they've started legal action against the YouTuber or creator. Once they've got proof that legal action has been started, YouTube essentially washes their hands of everything. They say that there is a chance that they'll be re-uploaded if you get a final court order.
Gotta say, it's crazy that it doesn't consider other court proceedings like harassment cases, because she took out an harassment case against this guy and they're considered totally separate, which is insane to me, because it's like, well, if this person's harassing me but also suddenly claiming on my videos, like, hello.
In favour. I've got dates and stuff
Critical
like that
thinking.
Down. So if I'm looking down, I'm looking at dates. On the 24th of February 2021, we received takedown requests and strikes from Sergio Costa, who we first met in March 2020. He claimed that he owned the copyright to the disclaimer text in...
So sorry, this is why I got confused, I think, because he submitted takedown requests. So takedown requests are actually, they're a DMCA. He didn't just claim it. So when I was talking about content ID system in the back end, it's most often used for monetizing. You can block as well, obviously, but it's for claiming videos, not takedowns or DMCA. So that's why it's slightly different, and that's what confused me.
In our video description boxes, he did not ask us to remove anything.
I co-authored the part between disclaimer and practicing professionals in the mental health sector, and it is being used without my permission. This was the disclaimer text in the description box of our videos. Now, tell me this and tell me no more. Is that not fucking ridiculous? Co-authored the part between the word disclaimer and the rest of the text. Like, that's fucking bananas that you can copyright claim someone's video for that. And also, how the fuck did he prove that? Genuine question, how did he prove that? Like, how'd he go, like, could someone just claim one of my... Fucking don't do it. Could they just get in one of my description boxes and be like, I wrote that description box? One of his complaints later in this video is like, not only did I co-author the description text, but I also suggested on one of the 3 videos that are still down, he was like, I suggested the links in the description on that one.
Before he made these takedown requests to YouTube. Even after we removed the disclaimers, he continued to issue new takedown requests.
So, this is the part that blows my mind. She took the fucking text out. She took the fucking text out, and the videos are still gone. And, even worse, the videos came back and got taken down again.
12 strikes against the dissociative YouTube channel. The possibility of YouTube deleting...
Now, 12 channel strikes. Holy fuck. Like, she's so lucky her channel wasn't deleted. You know, that can happen. They don't always just automatically delete it on 3, especially if they come all together like that. I assume they have to, like, verify it first. But 82 videos removed. Like, that is someone's life's work that you are taking down because you're mad they sent a fucking emoji to a friend on Instagram and they don't want to bang your old ass. Fuck's sake. Allegedly. Hypothetically. That's fucking insane.
The whole channel permanently. 82 videos being removed from.
So is this guy's behavior kind of like being a jerk, or is this normal? It is not normal to fall out with somebody, regardless of what it's about, and then copyright claim their entire life's work and get it all taken down and try to get their YouTube channel deleted. That is not normal.
From our channel. Mr. Costa then served
That's like saying I fell out with someone, so I'm actually not only going to get them fired from their job, but I'm going to set fire to their office. It's not normal.
Claim for copyright infringement.
So he also serves her company and her directly with copyright infringement legal proceedings in an intellectual property court. This I believe is in the UK, so I don't know, is it similar or different to what happens in America? There you go. God, he seems like such an arsehole.
A stressful, expensive,
in my opinion,
and
allegedly
combative experience to file a defence.
Okay, so we have some late people to the chat, and I just want to go over real quickly what we've touched on, because people are confused as to why this person, what's happening. So this woman's called Kaya. She had a YouTube channel. There was a guy she was working with that reached out to her via email, and she was working with him for a couple of months, no problem, and then they fell out. Basically, that's long story short, they fell out. They probably have different versions of why they fell out, but she showed a load of text messages, blah blah, and then once they fell out, she was like, wish you best in all your endeavors, and he was like, nope, I'm gonna get your whole shit taken down because I co-authored some of the text in the description boxes. So that's a real TLDR of where we are.
Copyright infringement claim in
so she went counterclaim
of
defense
own,
to the claim, and
separate
harassment proceedings
claim, and also a harassment claim against him. So how come Dissociated got 12 channel strikes when 82 videos were removed? When a user gets a lot of takedown requests or reports against it, the channel will receive a strike. Usually, if a channel hits 3 strikes, YouTube will delete the channel. When we got an email about that, I can't even explain how horrified and panicked we were. But to our massive relief, YouTube said that they would wait until the court had reached a final decision before deleting our channel. And this was especially because all 12 strikes were coming from claims from the same person.
I can't imagine how scary that would be, getting that email. And I also don't know how she got in touch with somebody in time to stop it. Terrifying.
And they weren't unique. They also took into account our harassment case against him in the court, which mainly revolves around his behaviour after Nin repeatedly refused his request for a more affectionate relationship.
That's her version of why they broke up.
And tried to part ways with him on that basis. On the 24th of August 2021, the court granted us an interim injunction against him to protect us from his harassment. They also gave us something which is titled Power of Arrest, and both of those last until the next hearing, which will probably be around mid next year. The injunction order, which you can see over here, has not stopped the person or people who we genuinely believe to be Costa going under his name on Twitter, publicly tweeting the location of our town in response to us getting this.
Oof.
And
Doxing.
He continues to post about us on Reddit and Twitter.
Worse.
We believe that all these actions are a breach of the existing interim harassment injunction. With the exception of 3, the 82 videos that have been removed from our channel are not part of the court claim. This is because the IP case and the takedown requests relate specifically to the disclaimers in the description box of our videos and not the videos themselves. The disclaimers were texts that were added to the video's description boxes months and in some cases years after the videos were originally made by us and uploaded to YouTube.
How insane is that? Like, the text was added so much later. Like, they co-authored a description and then she went back and added it to all her old videos. And then he got them all taken down because he was like, well, I co-authored that text. That's insanity.
Those videos were created by us alone, and they were uploaded and created, again, months and in some cases years before we ever even knew Sergio Costa existed. He has not, cannot, and does not try to claim any IP rights to those videos, with the exception of the 3 that we have not uploaded. And therefore, those videos should not have been impacted by the legal claim or the takedown requests at
Yeah, I don't get why they're still down.
Here is an
Especially if she took the text out, I don't get why they're still down.
email which...
Because she said she submitted a counterclaim and removed the text. And then he gave YouTube proof that he had taken her to court. So that's why they're still down, even though she took the text out. That's bananas.
Shows the first communication.
Like, is the court just going to be like, will you get out of here?
That we had with Mr. Costa. He said that he had been a Patreon for a couple of months, like a Patreon member, and had messaged us a couple of times on there, but we hadn't seen those messages. So this is the first communication we had, his first email, and that was on the 28th of March 2020. These are the videos that were removed by his takedown requests, including the dates.
Like, sorry, can you see how many videos there are? And like some of them like 1 million views, 3,665,000 views.
That they were uploaded to YouTube. As you can see, the vast majority of them were uploaded before we ever had any communication with Mr. Costa.
Whoa.
And you can also see a quote and screenshot of his takedown.
I co-authored the... God. That's actually insane.
Requests. As you can see, it only relates to the disclaimer text, which is in the description boxes of the videos. Since that text was removed, the video should not still be down. All the disclaimers were removed, and around the end of March 2021 to early May 2021, some of the videos were rightfully restored. YouTube informed Mr. Costa, who requested the video.
Okay, so they removed the text. Some of the videos were restored. YouTube informed Mr. Costa that they couldn't find any of the allegedly infringing content because they had removed
they
the
couldn't
text.
find the allegedly infringing content. That was because the disclaimers no longer existed there. We'd removed them, and therefore the videos had been reinstated. Perfect, that's how it should work. But the videos were suddenly removed again only after he started publicly tweeting YouTube.
Yeah, this kills me. This whole publicly tweeting YouTube bullshit. I don't like. The social media team in YouTube that run a fucking Twitter account are not certified in like content ID. They're not working with the content ID, like, or copyright, you know what I mean? So it's like insane to me that people feel that we're going to get more. I didn't realize the top of that was cut off, sorry. Yeah, it's insane to me that people feel like they need to tweet at YouTube, and also the way people tweet. I do love when people go on like rants about something they want to fix on YouTube and they at Susan Wojcinski. It's like, yeah, Susan Wojcinski's checking her fucking mentions for tech support issues. Oh no. Okay.
And in our opinion, put public pressure on them. Here are his...
I don't know if that's true, but you should definitely, like, that's crazy if him tweeting got them taken down again. Like, that's not how it should work. She's right in that if there's an issue, although I don't think you should be able to copyright claim someone's video just because of text in the fucking description. But apparently you are, so if you are, and if you are successful in your claim, and then they remove the infringing content, the videos are supposed to be put back up. That's the whole, basis on which the system works. So, like with my wedding video, I had to cut out the audio in order to get my video allowed to stay up on YouTube. But that's that's the risk I took. And like in her case, she took out the text. Video should have gone back up. So it's actually crazy if he managed to get them back down again by tweeting YouTube. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened, but if it was, that's not on, frankly. It's not on. Soul Bear, this is so devastating, so very mean. Oh gosh, you rejected him, unbelievable. Yeah, exactly. Just such spiteful. God, it feels so spiteful, very petty. Cormac, yes, so they are re-uploading their videos. That's right. They get to that in this video, but like re-uploading the video is never going to give you the status your channel. First of all, the strikes are not gone because the videos weren't reinstated, so the strikes don't go away, so your channel's forever impacted. Re-uploading a video that previously had like 3 million views, it's not going to get 3 million views again. It's not going to be as big and, you know, as positive an indicator in the algorithm as it previously was. Yeah, you're never like, I don't really understand why they went with the option of re-uploading, to be honest.
Tweets and the dates just relating.
I just think you need to get them reinstated.
A lot of tweets that made about us. So by YouTube's own admission, the allegedly infringing content is not in those videos. Technically, they were never in the videos at all, only in the description box, and they're now gone from there as well. We maintain that we wrote and therefore have the full IP rights to that disclaimer that we wrote in the description box, and you can see screenshots of how it was written here, but ultimately it is up to the court.
So if you look at this, it's like, she says, I think we should put a disclaimer saying we aren't a qualified professional. And he said something like that. You've called yourself a professional in the past, and I think it just places more responsibility on you. Take the VSauce channels, they're mostly educational, but the hosts don't label themselves as educators. People go a bit easier on them, blah, 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 blah. So she says, what if we said something like this in our return video? We would like to stress that while this channel exists for educational purposes only, we are not qualified professionals. Dissociated partially acts as a hub for collating scientific resources, and we combine those with advice from our personal experiences of living with DID to create content that is accurate and easy to understand. And then something like Dissociated is no way a replacement for the work and advice of practicing professionals in the mental health sector. So he said, while this channel exists for educational purposes only, and we make every effort to provide you with the most accurate and up-to-date information, yes, and include a similar disclaimer in every video in the description. So how's this in the video for the return? We would like to stress that while this channel exists for educational purposes only, we make every effort to provide you with the most accurate, up-to-date information. We're not qualified professionals. Dissociated primarily acts as a hub for collating scientific resources, and we combine those with advice from our personal experiences of living with DID, create content that's accurate, easy to understand. While we hope that it is helpful and provides access to important resources, Dissociated is no way a replacement for the work and advice of practicing professionals in the mental health sector. So, hang on. He only added, we make every effort to provide you the most accurate and up-to-date information. Oh my God, it's like a sentence. Oh my God. And look, indeed, another thing I think you should do at some point is update the description of existing videos.
To decide who owns the IP rights to the disclaimers and the other 3 videos that he claims that he advised us on.
Can YouTube reinstate the videos with the original number of views, or does the view count reset when a video is taken down? I know that when they're blocked, the view count is the same. I think that when they're taken down, the view count will be the same if they are released. In fact, I'm pretty positive. It's the only time it would reset is if it's deleted, and if there's like a back and forth about whether or not the video should be taken down, it won't be deleted on YouTube's end, if that makes sense. It'll be inaccessible, unplayable, unviewable on your channel. You can't, you know, I don't think you're able to download it on the back end. Maybe you are, but you're not you're not able to publish it or see it on your channel. Yeah.
The rest of the videos should be restored, as their creation and existence are not part of any legal proceedings, and the disclaimer, which was contested, has been removed. Therefore, the 79 videos are separate from.
So there you go. She's re-uploaded 79 videos.
This is an extremely simple and clear-cut case.
Without the text.
Somebody said that their copyright was infringed by some text. That text was removed. The video should be restored. Okay, now for the details. I'm again reading dates and stuff like that off my phone, because we kept track and a document of everything that happened with all the screenshots. So a lot of this is taken from that. On the 24th of February 2021, Sergio Costa created 5 copyright strikes through YouTube against the Dissociated channel. 3 copyright strikes will terminate a YouTube account and its associated channels if it is not solved, and you will also be banned from YouTube for life. You can see Mr. Costa's copyright claim here. This was a disclaimer of 4 sentences that was
Oof. So 5 of 3. And then look at that. Account termination is on hold. Your YouTube channel will be terminated soon, along with any associated channels, unless you are able to resolve your strikes. Oh my God, any associated channels? Holy moly. During this period, strikes will not expire and you will not be able to upload new videos. Your account termination is on hold, awaiting final review of a counter notification. My word. Okay. Oh my God. I can't imagine how scary that would be.
Copyright claim here. This was a disclaimer of 4 sentences that was copied into the description boxes of all our videos, even the ones that we had created and uploaded years before we ever met Mr. Costa. Because of this, he could target all our videos, even the ones he had nothing to do with. I uphold that I wrote this disclaimer. I sent it to Costa for his opinion, and he corrected the grammar for less than 1 sentence. The copyright strikes affected 24...
Yeah, I mean, from the text, it looks like he only inputted 1 sentence. So, I don't really think... There's the reaction to Trisha Paytas one. I really don't think
videos which YouTube removed.
He did anything
this
here,
means that those videos now cannot be viewed. We
Talk
also have a
about
large...
a man just wanting to be credited. Like, I wrote 1 sentence. I want all of those 82 videos, I want them taken down because of that. Like, trying to take credit
on our
for
channel that
her
shows
empire.
We have copyright violations now. On the 25th of February 2021, we submitted counterclaims for all 24 videos affected by his copyright claim. On the 9th of March 2021, Mr. Costa creates 2 more strikes against our channel, which causes 8 more videos to be removed by YouTube. There are now 7 copyright strikes on the Dissociated YouTube channel. We submitted counterclaims for the 8 videos that were affected by the new strikes and tell YouTube that we're happy to remove the disclaimers if the videos are reinstated. All the counterclaims were successful at first, and the videos were rightfully reinstated about 14 working days after the counterclaim had been assessed and forwarded to Mr. Costa. When the videos were reinstated and we had access to them again, we immediately removed the disclaimer from their description boxes. That should have meant that there was no way for Mr. Costa to claim copyright infringement on them again. We had already removed all the disclaimers from all the other videos so that they could not be removed. However, Mr. Costa then took to Twitter, tweeting directly to YouTube about his legal case against us, and we believe inciting harassment against us publicly. Mr. Costa expressed in his tweets that YouTube had told him that they could not find the infringing material. However, due to his tweets and public pressure, YouTube once again removed the videos that had been reinstated despite there being no infringing content. YouTube initially didn't inform us that the content...
That's scary. That's not right.
Had been removed again until we emailed them asking for updates about the copyright strikes. YouTube then sent us several emails explaining that the content had been removed once again because Mr. Costa had provided proof that he was taking legal action, but the videos could potentially be reinstated if we submitted a court order in our favour. On the 12th of May 2021...
That's crazy. So you have to go to court in order to prove that he has no right to these videos. Like, the cost of going to court and the stress, and these videos have been down for the guts of a year, if not a full year at this point. The money that she has lost from this YouTube channel, like, she lost her income, and she had a Patreon, but if you can't make YouTube videos, how can you know what I mean? And your Patreons are there for your YouTube videos. Like, she has lost at least, if not all, the absolute majority of her income because of this. And she's potentially, like, he's impacted her future revenue forever. I don't understand, man. I feel like because one of my favorite podcasts is the HP podcast, and they're getting sued like 3 times as well. And it just feels like law is just, I don't know. It's like creators are like not big media companies. They can't be constantly. Does this affect their Patreon income also? Well, I mean, it doesn't directly affect their Patreon income. Like, it wouldn't stop people subscribing on Patreon. But, like, if you were a Patreon subscriber of someone who creates YouTube content, and then suddenly all their YouTube content disappeared and they were unable to create anymore, like, there's going to be a lot of patrons that will then unsubscribe. Like, she hasn't been able to upload a video or even put up her old videos for a year. It's so scary.
Mr. Costa creates 2 more strikes against the YouTube channel, affecting and removing 7 more videos. None of these videos had the disclaimer.
Interesting that he says, like, strikes, I don't know how, like, strike contains 2 videos, strike contains 5 videos. I don't know how that was made. Look, that's so mad. Published 30 September. And look, it does, where's the description? So in previous screenshots, there was like content used, disclaimer. And the second time around, he's actually claiming the video because it says content used and it's saying the video. So those ones are definitely illegal. Because he didn't make the videos. He didn't make the videos that she made before she met him. So those ones those should absolutely, black and white, be illegal. Those strikes, definitely. Whatever about the one sentence he wrote in the description, but these copyright claims should be illegal because he's actually claiming the video here.
None of these videos had the disclaimer that Mr. Costa was claiming copyright for in their descriptions, and none of those videos were made with Mr. Costa's input. Whereas before there had been an option to submit a counterclaim, now the only option to resolve the strikes was to contact claimant, meaning we would have to contact Mr. Costa directly, despite YouTube and Costa's lawyers being aware that we have a legal case for harassment against him. 13th of...
Oh my God. She has a harassment case out against this guy, and YouTube are like, well, the only way to like save your channel is for you to email him directly. Oh my God. Oh my God. The Candle of Ormen. I am genuinely surprised that these claims were not dismissed as clearly frivolous. Problem is, this is an automated system for the most part. And so even when people get involved, then probably be at a later stage when it's in court and then their hands are tied. So
of May 2021, we emailed YouTube about these new claims.
This is my problem with this. It's so upsetting that this can be abused like this.
And we also emailed them because the previously reinstated videos had been removed again, but only after Mr. Costa had taken to Twitter to publicly speak to YouTube about the legal case.
YT partner support at google.com. So she is talking to the partner support. She should really have a YouTube partner manager. I'm surprised that she doesn't have a YouTube partner manager, like a direct manager that is fighting this for her. But anyway, she talks to the partner support. I know it was important for you to remove the copyright strikes in your videos. Rest assured I will look into it. We have received a lawsuit against the counter notices you've submitted. However, the content will not be reinstated at this time, but the copyright strikes will be resolved unless the court determines copyright infringement has occurred. If you get a final judgment in your favour, you can submit proof of such on the counter thread and the videos may be restored. Oof.
However, we had already removed the allegedly infringing material that Mr. Costa had based his YouTube copyright claims on, the disclaimer in the description boxes, so there was no infringement occurring and no reason for our videos to have been removed again. 25th of June 2021.
She's right, like, the second round of takedowns were without doubt illegal.
49 more videos were removed. This means that there are now 12 strikes on the Dissociated channel. We received automated emails from YouTube saying that our channel will be deleted in 7 days because of the strikes. This means that another 49 videos were removed on top of all the other videos that had already been removed due to his previous copyright claims against the channel. Costa submitted different counterclaims this time, some about the disclaimer and 2 about the scripts of 2 videos, 3 at a stretch, that he claims joint ownership to in his IP case. These videos are the Return to YouTube video, the Between My Teeth video, and the Impatient. With the Impatient video, the only thing that we can remember and find proof of
sewer for showing his text
doing anything with the script for, or anything to do with that video at all, because we wrote it when we were in an inpatient facility. The only contribution that he made was some links that he thought might be helpful to add into the description box. 27th of June 2021. Nin spends hours submitting counterclaims for the 49 videos removed by Costa's copyright strikes. This was an extremely taxing and traumatic situation to be
First time chat from Sergio Costa. Hi, I would like to let you know that I'm taking legal action against this person and her video as it contains copywritten content of mine, text messages, etc. Please cease this broadcast as it is a rebroadcast of my copyright. Copyright spelled wrong. That is very funny. Well done to whoever went and set up a Twitch account with that name specifically to do that. That's also kind of insane, but I appreciate
claims
it.
For the 49 videos removed by Costa's copyright strikes. This was an extremely taxing and traumatic situation to be handling and significantly worsened our mental health. Nin especially was experiencing flashbacks and panic attacks while trying to get through all these claims. The system as a whole was massive.
Kirks, it was you. Oh, good username. You can, I probably won't get much use out of it on Twitch, but you might have got use out of it on YouTube.
Anxious and depressed. However, YouTube refuses to reinstate any videos, even though the majority were not involved in the legal case, and we believe that the takedowns were fraudulent due to the copyright claims not existing in the works, which were the previously removed disclaimers. This also did not account for the fact that we had 3 legal cases against him, while he had 1 against us. 19th of July and 21st of July 2021. Mr. Costa submitted 5 more takedown requests. Some of these videos were private and or unlisted.
Okay, so this, copyright takedown request. So this is a copyright, yeah, so the manually detected is what's confusing me. Because manually detected is the way it would normally say if people were using the back end, but maybe it just says it that way on the front end as well. The manually detected thing confuses me because he shouldn't have access to that. Although that says, it also says content used, so maybe he just wrote that.
And were therefore not visible to the public. I don't know how he got the URLs. Again.
Yeah. That's another thing. So she says that the videos weren't visible to the public, and you can only copyright claim videos on the front end that are public. Like, unless you happened to have the URLs to unlisted videos, but if they're private, you still can't do it. So the only way you can do that, because you can copyright claim private and unlisted videos in the back end. He shouldn't have had access to the back end. And so the words manually detected and the fact that he had URLs that weren't publicly available makes me wonder, did he have access to the back end? And if so, how? Because he shouldn't have. Unless he was maybe... Ooh! Hang on, I got to change my camera battery because I talked for so fucking long. Give me 2 seconds. Well, I can't sing a copyrighted song, actually. In case I get in trouble. Okay. Are we back? We're back. Yeah, so this is scary. Unless he was talking to like YouTube support, and whoever he was talking to on YouTube support was using the back end to do it because they thought it was, you know, a valid claim or something. This part is terrifying. The whole thing's scary, but this part's, how do you have access to that?
All of these videos were made and uploaded before we ever met Mr. Costa. He does not have any copyright over the works. The videos were removed from the channel, and we submit counterclaims for all 5 videos. Here is a spreadsheet showing all the videos that were removed and when they were uploaded.
Oh, like million views.
Again, every single takedown request except for the return to YouTube video.
6 million views. So 6 million views. The Girls of Dissociated is back up, because I saw it the other day and it had 6 million. So a couple of these are back up, but I'm talking like 2 or 3, and the rest have been re-uploaded from scratch because all the view counts are reset.
Between our teeth video and the impatient video, those are the only ones that aren't to do with the disclaimer in the description, which had been removed for every single one of these videos. 24th of August 2021, the first case management conference was held in court for our harassment case against Mr. Costa. An emergency interim injunction order was given to us by the court. This is a legal order from the court for Mr. Sergio Costa to cease his harassment of us. YouTube still declines to reinstate the videos as the order is from a harassment case in the county court and not the IP court. You can
oh
also
my god, how the fuck do you get a fucking harassment case order in the fucking IP court? Oh my god. Oh, it's just so stupid. The whole thing's so stupid.
Our town. Costa is then fired by or fires his lawyers. He hires new ones for the IP case, but chooses to represent himself in the harassment case with the support of a specialist barrister. This means that we have to communicate with him directly, which is obviously extremely distressing for us. He could have chosen to hire another firm like he did for the IP case, but declined to.
My god, right. That seems bananas to me. If somebody has a harassment case out against you, there should be a rule against you representing yourself. If, like, they shouldn't have to contact you directly. Lord above.
No matter what is decided is legally acceptable in terms of creating legally binding contracts, the nature of a gift, inherent copyright and IP rights, we believe that Mr. Costa doing this was morally wrong. This has been an extremely stressful experience.
Definitely.
Again, this was only us stating dates, facts, screenshots, and occasionally how we felt about the situation. We are just tired of having other people control the narrative about us online. Mr. Costa continues to talk about us daily on Twitter and Reddit and God knows where else, while we are still being silent and nice and, you know, just keeping quiet. We deserve to be heard too. That's all this is. I'm not trying to drag anybody through the mud. I'm not trying to cause trouble. I'm not trying to start up some he says, she said. The only thing I'm doing is giving you, as our viewers, the facts as to what's happened to the channel that you chose to subscribe to and view, and the videos that many of you have said that you wanted back. We feel it's your right to know that. We'll probably turn off comments just because a lot of this is legal stuff. And
yeah, so I think that's pretty much the end of it. But yeah, I just thought that was super interesting. It was interesting there at the end where she said I a couple of times, having said we the whole way through the video. But anyway, what a small thing to pick up on. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because I just think that, first of all, as I said, I think the copyright system on YouTube is like the most amazing piece of tech. And it's really sad. I'd be really sad to think that people can abuse it like that. And it's just really scary as a creator that could happen. And I think that even if the creator involved is considered problematic or has had scandals in the past or whatever, I don't think that you should be able to